Tonight on First Tuesday, the Hogans from Winchester cross the north-south divide and swap lives for a week with the Pughs from Middlesbrough.
We're just not given the opportunity in the north. Everything is geared for the south now.
I think that a lot of people in the north, if they tried hard or harder, could get employment.
A life swap with some surprising results. Good evening. Mrs. Thatcher's Britain is an attractive place to live in if you've got a job. The increase in living standards, the tax breaks, all the benefits of booming Britain are particularly accessible to those in full-time jobs. Indeed, if you're employed and you're living in the prosperous south, it's hard to appreciate what life is like in a town where every fifth person is on the dole. Our film tonight tries to narrow that gap in understanding. We've asked two families to swap lives. Both are working class, but the Hogans live on a welder's wages in bustling Winchester. The Pughs live on the dole in Teesside. They both agreed, for a week, to cross the great north-south divide. They exchanged houses and friends. They exchanged a life with work for a life without it. And this is how they found the swap.
Middlesbrough, in the recession-hit northeast. With more than 1 in 5 out of work, Teesside has the highest unemployment in Britain. It feels it has paid the price for the prosperity in the south. Winchester, in the southern Conservative heartlands, has reaped the benefits of Britain's economic miracle under Mrs. Thatcher. Business is booming and unemployment virtually non-existent. Earlier this year, we asked two families from these two very different cities to live each other's lives for a week and find out for themselves what it's like on the other side of the tracks.
I'm Dave Pugh. I've lived in Middlesbrough all my life, and I've seen it go from bad to worse. When I first left school, I mean, the world was my oyster. I didn't have to worry about leaving Middlesbrough or anything. But now, 22 years after, I'm further back now than I was when I left school. And it's not only the northeast, but it's the whole of the north that seems to have it. And it seems to be hitting the north every time. I mean, in the 1920s, it wasn't the south that suffered, it was the north that suffered. I mean, you had your Jarrah marches and all the likes of that. Supposed to be to stop this happening again. You had your Second World War to stop this thing happening again. And what happens? It's here again. And personally, I can't see any end to it up here. I mean, it's the prosperous south, isn't it? And we the poor relations up here.
My name's Dave Hogan. I'm a local lad. I've always lived in Winchester. I take myself as a working class sort of chap. I'm a welder, fabricator welder, charger. I'd hope to achieve 15,000 this year as a wage. But I'd work about 54 hours a week, and that's every week that the firm can supply me with overtime. It's all tied in with effort and incentives, and that's what it is. I think I'm achieving as much as I'm ever going to achieve. I'm going in the right direction. It's nice to want things, I think. You know, if you don't aim for things, you're never going to get there. Everybody wants a new car. Everybody wants a nice telly, nice furniture. You know, I think that's what we try to achieve, anyway. Well, 3 million people unemployed. They say that's the price you've got to pay for the economic success that they're looking for.
When I first finished work in 1983, I think it was, 83, 84, And I thought, I'll have a couple of months lay off and I'd walk straight into a job. I mean, before that, I'd never been out of work. You know, it was literally walk from one job to another, straight in. And I thought that's what had happened again. I did, I honestly got the shock of my life when months turned into years. It's, what, 6 months, a year to when you actually start feeling the pinch. And that's when you do start feeling it. That's when all the savings have gone. That's when whatever little bits and bobs that you've got put to one side, that's when they've gone. And what you actually start feeling is the real nitty-gritty.
We have £52 a week, and we pay £7 gas, £3 electric, and there's a £1 I pay stamps for the television licence. And after that, really, we have a few more things, but we have £32 to get the clothes and shopping with the supermarket. Come the Monday, I need my family allowance because I'm practically skint by then.
I've got one pleasure, smoking. But I roll my own. I mean, it's money I can't afford. But I've got nothing else. Everything else has been taken off me. Everything's been stripped. You know, and the way things are going, this will be going as well next. So, what have we got?
I expect other people would think we haven't got very much at all, but to the working class man, I don't think we're doing too bad. I think my parents' lifestyle compared to mine, I expect they think I was a millionaire or something.
I don't expect a lot from life myself. We're comfortably off. We've got quite a few material things. You know, financially, we're secure. I never have to sort of worry about where the next penny's coming from. As far as budgeting's concerned, we don't budget at all. We never have, really. You know, I think life's been very good for us. I think we're better off under Mrs. Thatcher. Well, we appear to be better off under Mrs. Thatcher than we ever were under Labour government.
I wouldn't say I was a true Conservative or anything like that. Just I feel that, you know, you people vote for who they think they're getting a better deal from.
I suppose since the Tories got in, that people in work are better off. Tax cuts, the likes of that. But people out of work are just going further and further down. I mean, as far as the South's concerned, is what Maggie says. We're nothing but a load of morning minis. That's what we are. Won't go out. Do like Tebbit said, get on your bike. I'd like to have the gentleman up here. I mean, you know, it's not as if I'm sat on my backside all day. I've applied literally for anything and everything. From slinging, crane driving, driving vans, everything, you know. I'll have a go at anything. Like I say, 37. If they could put me on my pension, they would.
I think that a lot of people in the north, if they tried hard or harder, could get employment. And I mean, if people are prepared to lower their ideals and standards job-wise, then I feel people could get a job.
I can't believe that, you know, there can be that many thrown on the scrap heap. I don't know if they all want a job, but it's something I think we have to live with.
You know, and you see other families and they're just like we are. They're in that hole. We're all in that hole together. With no means climbing out of it. You just get further in, you can't get further out.
The Pughs pack for Winchester. Dave to work in Dave Hogan's factory. Hilary to enjoy the Hogan's spending power. Meanwhile, Karen and Dave will head north to experience a week of unemployment in Middlesbrough.
Middlesbrough.
No.
Down the
Rather than
path.
confront me. God almighty. What we've come from to what we'll come to. And the paintwork.
Go on, blimey. God.
Oh, wait a minute.
What number was it?
I don't know.
62, 64, 66,
What number is that?
68. Here it is.
68.
Go on, Flower. Follow your daddy.
Your favourite carpet as well, lover.
Oh, nice.
With this as well.
Told you to...
Look at the garden.
What?
Back garden.
Oh, yeah.
Huh? Swings, slide.
Swing and slide.
Shall we take up squatters' rights? Let's see him throw us out.
Yeah.
Shall we?
Yeah.
Wouldn't have to bother going home then.
Yeah, you could live in here.
That's a nice big kitchen, isn't it? Hey? Nosy.
Oh, dear.
We've got some post already.
All these numbers, go out and find the telephone. Welcome to the Middlesbrough. Gas and water turned off. Stop cutting the sink. Please find enclosed £32 for normal weekly spending. All bills have been paid. And good luck. 32 quid.
Oh, well. Good for the diet.
32 quid, right. Who's going hungry?
You can handle, you can handle the money.
Who's going without?
Fish it out.
Right,
I think I'd better get a move on it, mate. Go and start the car up.
Go for to dance because it's been cold last night.
I know.
I won't go far today.
Well, I'm going to have to go.
You know, I keep round about. I'll have a walk like the plan.
Well, actually, Wednesday night. I'm not kidding, I was terrified. The thought of going to work. The first day at work is the worst for anybody. You know, a new job, new people.
Sarah! I'm curious to know what, you know, for the unemployed, how they spend their day.
And you can hurry up and get off to school. Come on.
I mean, I couldn't imagine us as a family all under one roof, sort of 12, 14 hours a day.
Well, I'm just glad that we're living on sort of like just off the centre of the town, where I can actually kill some time. I could just mingle around the shops. I mean, that's obviously the only thing you can do.
Dave Pugh arrives for his first day of work in 4 years. He'll be handling steel, assembled in Winchester, but supplied, ironically, from Middlesbrough.
Alfie! Okay, this is Alfie. He's in charge and checker, which you'll be working under while you're here. This is Dave. He's going to spend a few days with this. Dave, what sort of work have you done before?
Well, this
You are conversion with
Oh,
it,
yeah,
but
yeah.
It's pretty straightforward. It's pretty simple. Watch your hands. This is the main thing. Take it easy.
Twisted
Watch
finger when I
Yeah.
caught it.
But anyway, I'll put you over with Alfie. He'll show you exactly what to do. Watch your hands. That's the main thing. You've got all the safety gear.
Yes, gloves.
Alfie, pay him on, introduce Dave and what you're going to do. Take him on with you, mate, okay? Well done, Dave.
All right.
What we do now, this one we've got to drop, put it under that, what we call the golf crate. Liverpool, Everton.
Middlesbrough. I'm not from that part of the country. Liverpool.
I feel sorry for you.
Hey?
I feel sorry for you.
Why? We're doing well. Top of the second division.
Oh, yeah.
I only live 5 minutes from the ground. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't go, like.
See you then, don't you?
Like you say, I don't go. I've no time for football, mate. Oh. What's yours like, Southampton?
Not believe it. I'm a Man United supporter.
And the dog's a mess, Sarah. I don't like it here. I don't like it here at all. I find it depressing. Very sort of grey area.
What's your mind, thoughts?
Careful. I mean, David goes out of the door. I mean, he keeps telling me off because as soon as he goes, I lock and bolt the door. You know, even in the daytime. I mean, I don't feel secure here. Funny road, isn't it, Says? Eh? I mean, it's not a place I'd like to live, and I mean, I would fear for my children's safety if I lived here. Believe it.
Hey, this is...
Ramboom!
Bloody hell.
Honestly,
What's with that, Sass, eh?
Look. What sort of a living you make?
I don't know. Must be pretty good, isn't it? Must scrap his money, isn't it?
I expected everybody to be standoffish, but they're not. No, they're nice, great. It's like one of the lads said to me at work today. He knows a lot of northerners who've been down here and gone back home because they couldn't adjust. And I said to him, it's just what you make it. There's a lot of people not willing to try. I mean, I'm a gobby bugger, me. I can talk to anybody. At least I think I can. Given the chance. I was depressed. Now, I'm not. No, I'm over the moon.
Fresh farm fare.
Oh, here's the butcher's.
Well, just some meat, Kaz. I don't think we can afford it, but... The thing is, it's a week. You've got to push yourself. I mean, they've got no choice. They've got to live on the £32 a week.
Oh, Grant likes belly pork.
Bacon shanks. What's that, Kev?
Belly pork, that's belly pork there. Grant likes that. You don't.
It's what?
That's
But what do you do when you want clothes and sort of shoes? I mean, you can't just say, well, we're fed. I mean, that theory of years ago, if you're not hungry, you're all right. Society today has to expect more. You have great more expectations of you. I mean, you know. Mince.
Faggots, then? Your favourite? Pound of sausages and a pound of mince, please.
Money, dear.
£1.55.
Who's Dad? Hello, Dad.
Hello, son. Oh, make us a coffee, will you?
Yeah, hang on, I'll make you one in a minute. Come here in a minute.
It was all right, that.
All right.
Yeah, like
Enjoyed.
home away from home. Tears, honest, the lads are smashing.
Are they?
Yeah.
What were you
Spent all
doing?
morning driving around in a wagon.
Oh, well, that suit you.
Look at this.
Don't gallivanting wagons with.
No.
Well, it was a chance to have Dave back at work again and life back to normal as it used to be. Getting your driving legs back. Which is a lot happier than having him sat in a chair, practically as a zombie. Not doing anything, not saying anything, because you just run out of things to say, which doesn't do a marriage a lot of good.
Huh?
So what was it like?
What's what?
Did you go to the canteen feeding?
Yeah.
Did you have?
Fish and chips.
You're not getting no tea.
Why? Is that what
I'm not
made?
feeding you twice. Oh, no, I don't feed you twice.
Could have had steak.
You dare.
That's
You
what
won't
I
have
said.
steak without me, you know that.
See, I was late going for my dinner.
Oh,
So I was sat with all the office staff. So I sat and had my dinner with them. They were eating steak. He said, but tell them up north it's only once a week. I said, we have to get a pound of mince and stick it all together. That's only once a week as well.
If you're lucky.
I'll have a cup of coffee now.
If
Do you know I never got one from leaving here till dinner time?
Ah, you poor little devil.
Never got a cup of coffee.
Oh, never mind. I'll go and make you one now.
I spent £5.61 today, and that's the cheapest shop I've ever bought. But, I mean, the sort of supermarket prices, I really thought it would be cheaper up here. But, I mean, basically, it's very much the same, I think. I don't think it will last through the week. I should have to go and spend some more. Well, I am hoping it's going to last out. Yeah, fingers crossed.
That's Chrissy Adams. Well done, Chris.
30% unemployment over this club.
30%?
30% of this club. Male members of this club are unemployed.
We've got about 1,400 male members, and then probably 30% of them haven't got work.
Well, I have 14 in my family, yeah. Out of those 14, I would say 12 are unemployed. And take ICI alone, but that's, I don't know, maybe it's 10, 15 years, we've lost 20,000 men out of ICI.
And British Steel.
British Steel's gone.
We think you live for the day and not tomorrow. I mean, if somebody said, you know, well, they're always out on a Friday, Saturday having a good time, whether they got a job or not. I mean, how can they afford to do that then? I mean, surely the commitment is to your family and the responsibilities of, you know, whatever debts you got.
Well, we are two of the fortunate ones who are working. We can afford to come out.
You know?
You want to go out to get away from your problems.
You've got to get out.
So you have your social
break. But you can't go out because you haven't got the money to go out.
It's not just, I don't think it's a case of just going out and forgetting your responsibilities. When the pressure hits you, you get out the house.
No, I'm not trying to say that. But people sort of say that, you know, they live in a day and they go and have a few beers. There's always a few people spending money, whether they got it or not.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Get the opportunity to please. We're about to make a draw for the next show.
We've sold that one.
We're going hungry again tonight. I keep going from one side to the other, and I expect most people would, as looking at it like I am for the first time.
514, 514.
To me, before we came here, it was a line across the country and like two different cultures. But it's not a line across the country, it's a line within a city as well.
For those who have and those who haven't.
Yeah,
those who've got a job.
Those who've got it and those who haven't got it.
Being totally reversed up there. It does.
What other people do, I couldn't tell you. I'm not interested in. All I'm interested in is what I do. You haven't worked in the north. You've been as far as Hull.
And spent time there.
Yeah, but you haven't been up into the north. You've never been to Middlesbrough.
No, I've not been to Middlesbrough.
No, but I'm talking about, I can only talk about my town, where I come from.
Seriously, I get the impression that people are more prepared to invest in the South in terms of business. Because honestly, they reckon they get a better return on the people.
I know, but I mean, I'm working with the lads there, doing exactly the same as I'm used to doing. You know, working in the same type of industry, and all the lads there to complain about exactly the same as we complain about. Too long hours and too short money. But I can't understand why a firm like that can buy steel from Middlesbrough, have it shipped all the way down here, put it all together, and ship it all the way back.
In Middlesbrough alone, there's 24% in unemployment. Just in Middlesbrough alone.
Yeah, but they're not willing to invest up there, are they?
No, they're not.
Well, that's got to be down to the people who live there, isn't it?
It's because of what the papers have put in for the north.
It isn't. It's because we won't bow down to the government.
Exactly.
We still vote Labour up there.
So do I.
And we still believe in the unions.
Where's the benefit?
We aren't going to bow down to her. We won't bow down to a Tory government.
Yeah, but this country was on a fair old downward spiral, and somebody had to put the blocks on it, and she did. Oh, will we be back?
Like, I've talked to people in Winchester here. I mean, there's Adrian and the likes of that, who we've talked to. We've tried to explain this, but their views are set. Maggie Thatcher is the best thing that ever happened. She's crippled the unions. She's brought prosperity to the south. The north, forget them.
The steel industry is now in a profit for the first time in so many years. They've had to do it the ruthless way.
What state industry? Adrian, I'll give Adrian his due, he's a smashing lad. You know, but he'll still go and vote Conservative. For all I've tried to explain how bad things are here.
Isn't that the attitude in general? We're not going to bow down to the government, we're not going to lick the heels of what they, you know, etc.
But you've got the same thing down here. Well, one thing I've learned in the south, sell yourself, push yourself to the limit. I mean, I was talking to Adrian in the pub, and he turned round to me and said, try being a salesman. And I've a bloody good man to go. I'm going to any road. I'll go and I'll try it. If I can sell myself, I can sell whatever product they've got for me. Bilingual, trilingual, director's secretary.
Sounds like a movie contract.
Yes, sir. So weirdo. Delivery van driver and warehouse person. And warehouse person. Same for him. Applicants must be energetic. There's a lot of managerial posts. Do you have to be qualified to be a manager? Dickheads I've seen and that.
Well, I've just been to the job club and I read Dave Pugh's file, and it showed that he started about August and showed all the job leads that he'd been through in a short period of 3 months, which went on for quite a few pages. They've got to apply for 10 jobs a day to be included in it. 50 a week. Good God, and just to be told thank you would keep you on file. And the firm must have a file about as big as a bus.
Try and find out the name of the person that you're writing to.
You know, you say, well, we all say, if they want a job, they'll find one. But their opportunities aren't the same as ours.
Go any further. And you've got it in your letter.
You've got to experience that to even understand it.
They're the one outside of Weldon.
One outside of Weldon. This is for the storeman's job, isn't it? So you're just living on hope. And do you still send them out often?
Yeah.
You still keep searching?
Well, I've run out of ideas now after being 2 years in England. I'm run out of ideas.
Yes, sure. Do you think it's probably? Do you think it's going to be around for a long, long time?
Till they get a lot of light industry, because, like I say, the heavy engineer is gone now.
Conda, where I'm working now, or where I'm working for a while, it's non-union. Well, I'm used to unions. Here, everybody seems to get along fine. You know, without a union. And I'm not saying that they need union, because I think a lot of practices would be stamped on. I don't know. But I think that was the trouble with industry up north. You know, the unions weren't willing to give that little bit. I think they would now. They would now, because we'll accept anything now. We're all willing to bend, to new practices.
Given the opportunity.
Yeah, given the opportunities, we're willing to bend to new practices. But we're just not given the opportunity. You're a clever girl, you.
Of course I am.
Like I say, we're just not given the opportunity in the north. Everything is geared for the south now. The workforce in the north is exactly the same as the workforce in Winchester. It was a real surprise. You see, I expected to come down here and find the unskilled men on maybe £200 a week, something like that, but they're not. You know, their money's the same as we are getting, more or less, up north. But this is more or less it. The management have you by the short and curlies. If you don't do it, bugger off, we'll get somebody in who will. And he'll work for less money than you were getting. You know, this is the market now. You know, the labour market, it's there. You don't want that job, we'll get rid of you, we'll get somebody else who does.
The jobs advertised, the wage that went with it, hours to be arranged, and most of them were much lower paid than I'd have thought they'd have been. It's like the market wants everything cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. Like your wages have got to go down and go down and go down. And then these jobs might be created. So in the end, you all work with tuppence and everybody's got a job. It's like you listened to the political broadcast yesterday. It said about this society's going to be built on success. It's going to be built on people that's going to make it. They're going to be the ones who create the wealth, the employment for us all to tag on to. But what about the people who don't make that rise? You know, they just want a steady job to bring their families up. If you take it, everybody's got to be successful. What do you do with them?
You were busy at work today, then?
Quite busy, as we were at shows, yes.
Yeah. Really
when
nice
we were busy.
Wrong today.
Which the lads will say, it's not Pugh because I've been busy. I'm kidding them. Yeah, we'll go and have a look at the estate agents.
Ah, why not?
Let's have a laugh.
Let's go.
Because the lads were on about the price of houses, you know.
With it?
Yeah. 120. Jesus, what the hell? Look at this. Single flat. 44,000. Oh, my God, look at that. 245,000. £250,000. I want all of the bloody town for that.
75,000 for that one as well.
What's up here? That's
yeah.
townhouse. Close to station.
75.
75,000. Like I say, you pick them up for 15,000 at home. They're only street houses, the same as ours. What we'll do is put roller skates on our house and roll it down here. Then it's finding the land to put the bloody thing on, innit? I know there's land out the back of Conda.
Oh, well, yeah. Ask the management would be kindly obliged.
Go on in.
I will go down here.
And as we were saying about the lads, they can't afford. They're all in council property. They're on labourers' wages, the same as I'd be on. Yeah. Ridiculous. Like I say, I could never get a mortgage on what I'd expect to earn.
Oh.
You just can't afford it.
No.
When do we start and come?
I went to a couple club this morning and met quite a large group of women. Well, the chap from the DHSS came and spoke about the various changes in the system. I mean, the system as it stands today, I don't fully appreciate because it's not, you know, touched me at all in my life.
I mean, the piece of paper you've got in front of you shows you the 4 major changes. Next year, I'm talking about after April of this year, anybody whatsoever has to pay part of their rate, whether they're getting a benefit, they're on a low wage, or they're on a fixed income, whatever. They will have to pay 1/5 of their rates. You won't be able to get any single payment as a right. If you do get anything, it's going to be a loan, which you'll have to pay back out of your benefit. But I don't know how many of you are.
See, I mean, if they're cutting the payments, well, they're not cutting the payments, but you've got more things to pay, obviously. I mean, you can't pay your mortgage, so what's going to happen to them people?
You're trying to better yourself at your own house,
You try to better yourself and you're worse off. I mean, you're put in rooms, your husband will have to go somewhere else, and you'll have to go in sheltered accommodation with the children, and it's not right. I mean, there should be ways of getting money to help you under these circumstances.
But these people who make all these decisions, they don't know what it's like, do they? You know, they've all got money, they've all got jobs, so... You know, they have no idea.
Just one big communal grave, they want, don't they?
It's easy when you're not in need to sit back and sort of criticise people for certain things and say, you know, I'm all right. But, I mean, yes, I've learnt this week, and I've had an insight into a problem which I've never thought about before.
I'm afraid I have no answer for that. It's a direct cut in benefits.
I'd like to ask Margaret Thatcher for the answer, wouldn't you?
I mean, how are they going to cope? Because they can't cope on any less. I mean, I can't see it from what I've experienced this week that a family could cope on any less. It's just outrageous that you can expect anybody to live on less.
I can only sympathise.
So there's no benefit we could apply for to cover all these? No. So
If
we'd be
you-
worse off.
We're going back to the 30s in that case, the way we're going on.
Right.
In fact, I think they were better off in the 30s then.
I wouldn't know.
Well, I wouldn't know.
What Karen said about the DHS yesterday, the talk they had, they're trying to get the efficiency into that, like saying we've got to save money here, we've got to save money there. So they're slowly chipping away what other rights people have. And in the end, they just chip down, and it seems to me like they're trying to encourage the lowest paid jobs in the area to become attractive by knocking away the benefits.
I think, you know, when we left Winchester, it was, to a certain extent, I felt the finger was being pointed at us in as much as to say, you couldn't do it. So I think we came here with a determination to prove that, you know, anybody could survive on that amount. And, you know, we didn't really appreciate the hardships that go with it.
Got to be cheap here,
Right, you know, I mean, I said to David, you were filming me with the groceries and that. I mean, I felt that was pointless and it's quite irrelevant to the situation, really. I mean, anybody can survive a week. You can starve for a week and still survive. But, I mean, that's not the total picture, is it?
Dave having a job, it means more than just money. It means happier in the home with the bairn.
Robbie!
When he was working, coming in, he used to fight with the bairn on the floor. I can't put a thing on it. It's just something that's there, and now without the work, it's not there.
Alfie's DOS house on the door, mate, that's what it is. Oh, no.
Number 10.
Work. It's all social life. You know, your whole life literally evolves around work.
I looked at his passport, he said he come from that way.
For me, it's going to work
New car.
and just having a crack with the lads, you know, chat and a bit of crack, and it makes all the difference.
So now he chucks me on the lorry just in case I fall off again. That's what he's waiting for. When I do get home, it's home.
Fair enough, I know when I'm at home, maybe nip round with the Hoover. I'll do the washing. I'll do the tea. But I couldn't do it every day, day in and day out. You know, it's so mundane. And yet she loves it. She's a good mother. She's a good wife. She's a good housekeeper. I couldn't do what she does. I couldn't do that permanent. It would drive me up the wall.
It's so monotonous, you know, day in, day out. You know, I mean, the more I think about it, I mean, the only word I can think of is despair. I was putting some makeup on this morning and I stood there feeling guilty that I was actually putting it on. You know, because I thought to myself, well, if I was in their position, would I have it? I mean, is that a priority I'd have within my budget sort of thing? But then on the other hand, I mean, if you let that side of life go, I mean, you're just going farther and farther downhill, aren't you? I mean, it must be a fight to keep your standard. It really must.
We got halfway through the week and was convinced that the people didn't want work, didn't want a job. It was bad practices by the unions that done everything like that. And, you know, maybe that side of the argument was pretty true to a certain extent. But then we felt the other side, the side that, you know, you're not wanted, You aren't considered to be on the bus, you're on your own. And we've only experienced the hardship of one family. How many thousands of people like that? If you add us more together, there's a lot of feeling, must be feeling pretty bad about it.
That mist coming down again, isn't it?
Yeah. It's supposed to be clearer, isn't it?
Well, they said it's going to take a while to clear, but it seems to be dropping again.
Let's have some music now. Coming up next, a song that's moving fast up the charts.
Pink cottage here. Can you see it? Isn't that nice?
But your dad doing the pools.
That's cottages.
We'll grow your garden on the roof.
Before you point the finger, I'd hope the whole thing disappears. Remember, empty words will fall and fall upon the deafest ear. You won't give in without a fight, and foul play without a doubt. No silver lining to be seen in this thundercloud. Oh, that's not allowed in the ideal world. We'd be free to choose, but in my real world, oh, you can bet we're gonna lose.
It's the north-south divide. It's not a line across the map, is it? It's a line across line across the class, the working class. I mean, they're the ones that's taken the north and south divide. They're the ones who are actually losing their job, the manual workers. I mean, I'd have thought that would have been more than saying it's anything north of so-and-so.
I should have come the wrong way. There's nothing I can take back to the north. As a working man, the only thing is for management and the people who own these companies to realise that we're not idle in the north. We need work up there, the same as they need it down south.
I know Middlesbrough. In fact, I'm a Geordie myself, so we're as keen for business to build up in the northeast of England as you are. Because with transport the way it is, so we have to haul steel all the way up there to build some of these factories. And therefore, it's not that difficult with the new motorways.
You know, wouldn't it be
seems crazy, doesn't
more
it?
feasible to maybe open a plant in the north? So
Yes,
that you
well,
have, like, Conda Southern and Conda Northern.
Yeah, many years ago we used to have a plant in the northeast of England, but of course the economy is such that as all the business moved south in the country, we had to concentrate our fabrication in the south. We'd dearly love to have workshops all over the country strategically placed, but of course it's not really practical.
Well, Conda, it seems to be the way forward. I mean, even managing directors I've been surprised with. I mean, Conda literally do everything possible for the men. The men have grievances, but, I mean, you tell me anywhere where a man doesn't work that he hasn't got a grievance. I'm really surprised. I like Conda. I've enjoyed working there.
Best wishes.
Thanks very much.
Hope you get a job soon.
I would like to work for them permanently, but there's no way that we could afford to move to Winchester. It's as simple as that. No way whatsoever. Pardon?
Did you put 4 in your hand?
10.
Feeling generous.
Cheers. I've had my eyes opened about the south. And I hope the Hogans have had their eyes opened about the north.
So that's the time. You go out that way, we don't like.
We must have gone through 1 million questions this week, which I'd never even thought of asking myself last week. That's the reality of it, because it opens your eyes, because you don't stop looking just at yourself and try to understand sort of why and how it all could happen. Yeah, the lucky generation, you don't realise when the benefits started hitting you. We started out with the opinion that, you know, A, it was not impossible to get a job, B, that we could survive on the money. We was very determined to do that, even if it meant sort of cutting out a few things here and there, because it seemed to be, that was the argument. But when we got through the week, we realised there was more into it than just what we was thinking. It was the personal devastation and the way you felt. And the resentment was not actually resentment, but it was actually of it felt like you felt sorry for them. You know, you could feel the anguish in somebody because they couldn't achieve anything because there's no opportunity.
I mean, all I can say is that, you know, I've got a lot of compassion and admiration, really, for families that are on the dole and, you know, are existing and managing to keep their standards at a steady level.
Unemployment shouldn't be termed as a disease. I mean, if they can't work, they should be, you know, helped to live a sort of lifestyle that's sort of not on the breadline or below it. I mean, they should be, the wealth should be shared out so that if you haven't got a job, you're unfortunate and unlucky, not somebody who's just a hanger-on or something. Society's got to look at them in a different way. Because if not, if this problem's going to stay and stay and stay for the generations to follow, then there's definitely something wrong with our society.
I can't see any future for my Ben. Unless something is done in the next, 5 years, and drastically done in the north, my Ben has no future whatsoever. He's just going to give up. I mean, he sees his father sat in a bloody chair, doing nothing. Well, it's automatic he's going to take it on, isn't it? He's got no future. He's finished. Before he starts.
Well, to tell you the truth, I don't want to go home tomorrow, back to Middlesbrough, because there's no prospects there for Dave. That means no prospects for me or the Ben, the same as the other families there. There's nothing except unemployment.
I don't want to go home. I honestly do not want to go home. I've had a good week down here. I've met new people, new friends. I mean, I've got a lot of friends at home. You know, I know a lot of people. All my families are at home. Our family, you know, Bill's family, my family, they're all up there. But I would stop here. I don't want to go home. Just check this door.
Okay, well, I've got most of the packing done.
Yeah.
The last item of
Well, we'll just put the little odds and sods into the case and that'll be it in the morning, won't it?
Yeah.
The next passenger service into number 1 platform is the 11:27 service to Darlington and Bishop Auckland. People for London and the South, change at Darlington.
When we go back next week, we'll give a thought for the Pughs and say, oh, do you want to live like that? And in the end, it's like your television programme when it goes out. It's here today and gone tomorrow. People don't remember these facts. The next day, did you see? Oh, they all sit around talking about it, yeah. And then ask them next week, what was their names? And the following week, what was the problem? You're out of it. You're gone. You know, here today, gone tomorrow.
We were able to make that film only because two families had the courage to cross into one another's lives for a week. In many ways, it was an upsetting experiment, and one that both the Hogans and the Pughs now look back on with mixed feelings. Any film will glamorise the situation, says Dave Hogan. I tried to explain to people back home what it's like for those who have to go without. But in the end, you can't share that experience. By the time people realise what it's like on the other side of the coin, it'll be far too late. For the Pughs, the struggle continues. Dave Pugh still hasn't found a job, and for him, the week's life swap was bittersweet. We've seen how the other half live, he says, and we've learned a lot, but at the end of the day, it's a dream world, and we've had to wake up to reality. I'm still applying for everything and anything, and I'm still getting rejections. For me, I see no light at the end of the tunnel. And that's where we leave you for this evening. Until the first Tuesday in June, good night.